Hello, it's Kadisha. I'm back with another video. Sometimes we just have to hear it. We are the problem. And I say this, of course, because I'm usually going through a situation or have gone through something that has allowed me to realize that I was actually the catalyst that was making things happen. And oftentimes we don't hear this enough or we don't realize it fast enough to where we can remove ourselves and see something different happen. But yeah, the Lord just said we need to evaluate the situation and see, like, if I am the problem, what do I need to do in order to get this solved? And sometimes, not always, it will be to remove yourself. And once you remove yourself, then things will start to change in a direction that you're like, oh, why did this happen when I was basically there? And it's just because you are the reason why something happens. And I seen this. It was so funny. A guy, he's talked about this before. He's talked about, like, in relationships, like, if someone's acting a certain way, that they will, and you've allowed it, they will continue to act that way, and it will of course get worse. But I noticed this when I was with my friend and we were talking about her kids. And so we would keep her kids during service, and when they see her, of course they cry because they want their mom, and they're like, you are a stranger. And so we had put one of them in the little kid area for church, and she was like, well, how did he do? And it was just me and another, we the aunties, we the aunties, me and another one. We put him in there. We're like, he did fine. He was looking, of course, like, y'all about to leave me here, but he didn't cry, versus how he does when she's there. And I was like, you the problem, but we were cracking up because of course they're kids. Like, this is to be expected. They see them all the time. Like, this is who they know. This is who they see most 24 hours a day usually. It's until they go to school, and then don't see them as much. But these are the people that they see the most. So it's just like, it's very common for this to happen. So it's not necessarily a bad situation. I'm not saying that, but we have to look at the situation and say, well, is it me? And it was so funny because she was like, it's me, it's me. And it's like, yeah, it's you, but it's not a bad you. It's just like, this is you. So, and I had this happen in another situation where the Lord allowed me to realize, like, people kept saying, Kadisha this, Kadisha that, and it was bad. And I say bad, like, they weren't doing it to be harmful. I don't think they were doing it to be harmful, but it was a bad situation. And so the Lord allowed me and assured me to, okay, that, like, yeah, you need to remove yourself from this situation. And I did, and I think it's helping. I think it'll get better going forward, but first, like I said, I have to remove ourselves. So this isn't a long video. This is just evaluating our problems in our life, whatever the situation may be, and see if it's us who may be actually being the catalyst and allowing it to continue to be that way, and seeing, like, okay, if it's me that needs to, not necessarily, because you might not have to remove yourself from the situation. You may just have to speak differently. You may have to do things differently, and then that will turn the situation around. But of course, that is hard, because when you're somewhere and someone's used to you doing something, then when you start to change and say, no, this is not going to happen, then they start to say, start to fight back. And that's where you have to be confident and bold and say, oh no, this is how it's going to go going forward. And I've talked about that before, where I said I had to change some things, and the person, of course, got upset, but it works out, because it's just like, I'm like, who is it? Male person. But yes, just check it out, see if it's you, and if it is you, see what you can do to change it. All right, thank you so much for watching. Like I always say, se ha cambiado que quieres ver en otros. Until next time, bye.